Hi everyone, it's great to see you all today. My name is Carly Richmond. I'm one of the advocates here at Elastic, and today I'm talking to you all about synonyms and the various ways that you can manage them in Elasticsearch. So synonyms are part of the analyzer phase, and it's worth noting that if you are maybe not too sure about analyzers, I would recommend checking the prior episode by David earlier on in the Byte series where he talks about analyzers, so give that a watch as well. So what is a synonym? Well, in simple terms, it's a set of words or phrases that have a similar meaning. And why we need to worry about these in the constructive search is that if we don't actually make sure that we have access to these synonyms, there's definitely a case where when someone makes a query against their application, that we end up maybe not giving them the results that they want or is useful because they've specified a particular term. Because as human beings, we have particular terms and ways of speaking that mean that we might prefer to use one term as part of our own natural language compared to others. So let's take an example. Let's say I'm looking through the discussion forums and I want to see the issues where we're relating to a grok parse failure, where someone is specified that they're having a particular problem with it. So if I run that query, you'll see that I've got 3 results coming back. And you'll also see that the top scored ID is 166203. Okay. But what about if I use the word issue instead? Very common synonym associated with problem. Well, the number of results is different. And also the top ranking document is different. So there's a potential if I use one term over another that I might not find the solution to my problem. So I want to make sure that I find all of these results when I search for these, and that's where synonyms come in. So how to search with synonyms? There are 3 ways in Elasticsearch that you can do this. You can either store it as a file using the Solar syntax, which we've got an example synonym file here, and then you can upload it to Elasticsearch using the upload custom plugin steps. And in fact, there is an example within the documentation where we create the metadata for that synonyms file within a zip and then upload the zip using HTTP. And when we do that in that particular instance, we would end up specifying the synonyms path to the file located to find our dictionary of synonyms. But what we're going to focus on today is the inline format, which is basically where you'll specify the inline list of synonyms using this option within the filter in your analyzer. So for this particular set of text here, I've specified really 3 different types of synonyms that we would want to think about. So I have an expansion of warn to warning. I want to catch spelling mistakes, so a common one for calendar with an E, mapping it to the correct value. And then I want to use problem and issue together because that's how we solve our original problem. So when I see the tokens generated for this particular set of text, making use of these synonyms and the synonym graph token filter, you'll see there's a couple of things that are different. So the first thing I want to call out is that we have the issue token that's generated, which is not in our original text. It's mapped as type synonym, but it has the same offset positions as problem. The other thing I want to call your attention to is that I don't have warn in here, which is part of my original text. I have warning, so it performs the required expansions that you're specifying. So I mentioned there was 2 types of filters. Which one do you use? Well, it depends on a couple of things. It depends on where you're using the analyzer. Is it the indexing phase? Is it at the search phase? So the synonym token filter, just synonym, is the default type. And this one can be used both at index time and at search time. But one of the things is it doesn't support multi-word. So if you have hurry and in a hurry, those would be synonyms, an example of a multi-word synonym. It doesn't support that. You would need to use the synonym graph token, which is only designed to be used as part of the search analyzer. So make sure when you're specifying the synonym type that you think carefully about which one that you want to use. So one of the things you've probably noticed about this construct of synonyms is, what if I want to change the set of synonyms that are applied either at index time with the default analyzer, an example of which I have here with the filter. I need to update the entire set of synonyms. Okay, what about the file option? Well, the file option, I need to re-upload that new file with the updated values. So there's a lot of management associated with synonyms in this particular case. So there is a tech preview available as of 8.10 where you can in fact use the synonym API. And that means that you can manage synonyms in your cluster a lot easier. So the way this works is you specify what's called a synonym set, which underneath has a set of rules, which are those expansions that we talked about before. So here is my list here. So I've got discuss synonym set, and I'm specifying 3, one of which does not have an ID, which will be generated for me in the case that I don't specify it. But I've got each of my 3 rules as part of the set. And what it'll do is it will create that synonym set. You'll see it's all went through as I expect. And then I can use that in the same way with an analyzer by specifying the synonym set option. But now you're probably wondering, well, you said this was going to make updating individual rules easier. How do I do that? And the reason is that actually you can update an individual rule within a synonym set using this set of APIs. So in this particular case, within the discuss synonym set that I just created, I want to update that problem ID rule to add in difficulty, which would be another way for someone to specify that they're having a problem. So if I run this particular query, this update here, you'll see that it's come back saying that actually my synonym set has now been updated, just as I expect. Woo, fantastic. And then if I go back and actually get the original synonym set, you'll see that it's been updated. And I can then use that in multiple places, unlike with the inline option. I can use it as a default analyzer in a particular index. I can apply it to different fields. I can apply it all over the place just by making use of a common set that is updatable. Now you're probably thinking, well, there's one other problem that I've not really talked about, which is the fact that you still need to maintain a set of synonyms. Can we not find kind of smarter ways in order to try and generate the sets of synonyms that are maybe available, make use of machine learning or other techniques to generate those? And the answer is, yes, you can. Within the Elastic ecosystem, you can use things like the ELSER model, for example. Now, I am not going to cover that today, but that is something that's going to be covered as part of a future Elastic Byte, along with a whole host of other useful tips and tricks. So what I would recommend is subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe wherever you're watching today, and check out the next set of Elastic Bytes, which will be taking place next week and the following week. And I will see you next time. So thanks again for watching.